I'm at 1600 ISO, f-stop of 2.0, and the shutter speed is at 1/50th of a second. So I've only got one light in the room, and it's actually directly behind the camera. I didn't spend much time setting this up at all, and I think it's a 60-watt fluorescent, which I haven't even white balanced, so I'm going to get the white balancing. I'm just doing one thing at a time here as I learn. I haven't done the white balancing. The audio I know sucks because I don't have the mic yet. That should be coming next week, I think. I was up in Wyoming this weekend for a family weekend, and I took my camera, which was great, the T2i, and it was nice not having to carry my camcorder and my regular camera, and all I had to do was just bring the T2i because it does both. But I've got to say there's a lot of frustrations with it because as a new beginner to it, it's not as easy as I thought it would be, and people that are buying it do think that they can replace it are probably going to run into similar things. So my brother-in-law has a machine shop, so it was kind of fun to just go destroy some stuff since I was kind of like the IT guy and I was fixing all their computers this weekend. We went out and took one of their old computers that they didn't need anymore, and we ran a few tests with the Canon. So that's what you're seeing here, is us destroying stuff and me trying to learn how to use the camera. Okay, so focus is a big thing. It's really hard to focus on people using that, pressing the button, doing all that. It's not very easy. The shutter speed's always going to be at 50. I believe that's what everybody else does. So pretty much once you eliminate the shutter, you're left with the aperture and the ISO. So from what I understand, you want to get the ISO as low as possible and then put the aperture where it needs to be. But trying to do that while you're running and gunning with this camera is very hard to do. So another frustrating thing like this weekend is just shooting, family is very difficult, keeping it very steady. So pretty much I'm coming to the conclusion that every shot that you do has got to be planned. It's got to be well thought out. You set it up on a tripod and you tweak until you get that shot right, and then you move on. It's not run and gun with a camcorder. But what I'm kind of hoping is, it's kind of like baseball, where you say, okay, I know this is the kind of shot I want, and I know the conditions, and I know where the settings are going to go pretty quickly, because I'm always fumbling, trying to figure out which button is for the ISO, then turning the knob, and then which one's for the aperture, and pressing and turning the knob. And it's kind of like baseball, where you're learning how to hit the ball the very first time, and you got to get the stance just right, you got to do that right, and then after you've practiced, your coach says, okay, now forget everything I just said and just hit the ball. So I'm kind of hoping it'll get to that point where I can just hit the ball or take a picture.